This is a walk through TickLists App, which works on desktop, tablet and mobile. You can also add it to your home screen on a mobile device if you want it to work just like an app. There's two different things that you could do. You could do shopping lists, and that helps you manage large, many item shops in different types of shop, and routines. So this is my account that's already set up, and you can see that I've got various lists. One is a routine, this one is a shopping list. I'll take you through the food shopping list first. At the moment that you can see that all of the sections here are collapsed. That's because I'm in this one type of shop, a particular brand in a particular place. If I go to a different supermarket, I can click this button and you can see that the departments down there are swapping. So you can see that after cashier and bulk buy, in this shop you've got fruit and veg, and then oils and vinegar, they're in cans and jars. In this one, after the first two departments, it goes cans and jars, fruit and veg, herbs and spices, and then oils and vinegar. So you can expand these, and what you do is when you run out of something, let's say for example you've run out of charcoal, you or anyone in your household that you've shared your list with can tick we're out of charcoal. Or you can, for example, just type in salt and say, look, we're out of salt, and tick that. You can also undo something. So let's go back to the main view, and I'm going to cancel out of salt here because it's only showing me things with salt in, like nuts, salted almonds and crisps, salt, vinegar. So when I cancel that, I can then, for example, let's say for example you're on a special diet, like if you wanted to just buy keto things, you can then view only keto things. And I've also highlighted all those things in green, which I'll show you in a moment. That's tags on the account page. You can set up your tags here. You can have anything you like. You can rename them, delete them, and you don't have to use them, but it can help you to organise things. So let's cancel out of being just in keto. Once you've ticked a few things on your list, you go to a supermarket, select the supermarket, and you click ticked only. And then what you can see is only the things that you need to buy in exactly the right order for that particular shop. So the cashier comes first. I can see I need soda stream refills. Then you've got bulk buy where I need to get charcoal. And then in fruit and veg, you can see what you've got there. You can also see when you've finished in a section, and you can move on to the next section, like bread and cakes, or fish, meat, dairy, etc. You can also live add an item at any time. Say, for example, you want to add fish and tag it keto and then add that. I'm not going to do that because it's going to mess up my list. But also you can see the last time that someone ticked or unticked something. So here you can see that I ticked this item a couple of minutes ago. And if I untick it, well, it's going to be not shown anymore because I've got show all filter on there. But now that I've ticked out of that filter, you can see I unticked it at 17:05, which was just now. So when my partner goes shopping, I can be at home ticking things and unticking things, and he can be on the way to the shop and he can get a live updated version of this list as soon as he gets there, because I've shared this list with him. So this is where you do shared with. There's a feedback section there as well. And then each list that you create, the food shopping one was the one we were just in. This shows me my tags. I can create a new tag, for example, like test. And I can choose a colour for that if I want to. Say purple's not being used at the moment. And each list gets its own individual tag. So that's enough for shopping at the moment. The other thing that you could do here is a routine. So let's say, for example, that you have to do lots of very similar jobs either every day of the week or every weekday or every weekend day or only on a particular day of the week. So let's say, for example, I'm looking here at all of the things I've got to do. I've got to feed the dog. I've got to do some gardening stuff. I've got to get the washing up done. I've got to water all the plants and trees, right? So, but then on Thursdays only, I've got to do all the cleaning jobs, okay? So that's why these are coloured this colour. Now, let's say, for example, tomorrow is Monday. I'm not going to want to see all the jobs that I need to do on a Thursday. So you can see that I scroll down and I'm not seeing my Thursday jobs now, okay? If, for example, I wanted to see Monday and Tuesday jobs, I can see that. But usually I would just go, okay, what's my jobs for Tuesday or what's my jobs for Wednesday? And let's say, for example, I want to find a task. It's exactly the same as in shopping. Now, this works a little bit different. So in the first thing I showed you, shopping lists, you would tick things that you need in your next shop. And when you're shopping and they go in your cart, you would untick them, or you would just click untick all when you get home. This works a little bit different. So let's say, for example, we only want to see the jobs that I've got outstanding today. We can see, okay, in the afternoon, I've got to walk the dog. I've got to do some gardening stuff. I've got to cook dinner. And there's some learning stuff I want to do. So now I can see only what's outstanding for this day. But when I cancel out of this and I reset my routine, tomorrow morning I'll go to Monday and then I can see all of my jobs for Monday that are outstanding. And when I click unticked only, as I tick off my jobs throughout the day, which is really quick and easy, as you can see, my list's getting much smaller as we go. Once I've ticked off all my list for the whole day, then the rest of the day is my own, of course, right? So I'm going to tick that. Let's say I've done all my jobs for the day. I've got nothing now outstanding for Monday. I can then show all, see that they're all ticked off. I can reset my routine and then move to Tuesday and see what I need to do on Tuesday. Or let's say it's now Thursday morning. I could go here and I go, okay, look, I've got these extra jobs on a Thursday and these are colour coded, this kind of peachy orange colour. I'll show you how I did that. I went into my tags daily routine and I've set Thursday to this colour, and that helps me see I've got a different colour on all of these, but on the weekend I've got them set to red. So on my list view, if, for example, it's Saturday, which is when we do a lot of home renovation, you can see I've got a ton of home renovation tasks to do that day. But the main thing about this is it's really easy to filter in and out by day. And you don't have to have days of the week. It's just set up by default for that. If you had a 5-day repeating schedule, you could just call it day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, for example. Or day 1, 2, and 3 if you had a 3-day repeating schedule. When you collapse this, you can see that I've got this set into sections of morning, mid-morning, afternoon, and evening. But you can set that up any way that you want. So to get you kicked off really fast, you can select where you want to upload something, and you can, if you've got all of these items in a spreadsheet or in iNotes or anything you like, you could just type in like the item name, and then optionally, let's say, for example, you wanted to do a weights routine because you wanted to keep to doing exercise every day. You would just write like this, okay? And then when you can put in many things in this item. There could be 200 or 300 of them if you want to. But let's say I want to add this to my daily routine, just as an example of one thing. I add that, I go to my list, and when I expand it, it will have gone into no department at the end. But then I can add that to my morning department, and then that's going to be there every day. Now, let's say, for example, I want to put it on all days of the week except for Saturday and Sunday. And let's say I want it to be the first thing in the day. I can now bring this up all the way to the top. It's okay, the first thing that I'm going to do every day is weights, 12 reps, okay, for say 30 minutes or whatever I want to do. Okay, so there we go. If I then want to delete that task, I just click delete. But you don't delete it if you've just done it for today and you want it to appear the next day in your regular routine. You just untick it, view ticked only. Sorry, you tick it and then you view ticked only, and then it's removed until the next day when you reset your routine and it's back again. So it cuts down a lot of rework in writing out routines and things like that. Also, if you've got a shared routine, let's say for example we've got renovation jobs here, you can see that I've unticked this, but let's say this job was done, I can tick it and then my partner can see, oh, Rachel's already done that. But if this job is never going to come up again, like say for example, move the washing machine, if that's not something that we need to do more than once, just this Saturday, I can then delete this job and it's no longer on the list. I'm going to undo that though because I still want that job on there. Okay, so that's basically it. So you've got an area for lists. So the free account gives you one list with up to 300 items and you could share with up to 10 people. It also works if you're at work, you know, and you have checklists every day or a regular time per week. That's where you go to your list view. If you want to choose a different list, just do that. This is where you can bulk upload things to any list that you want to. And here is where you can manage your account and you can manage your subscription. This one that I'm on here is there's only free and pro, and this shows what my benefits are. And here you can send feedback. So I hope that you will take a look at the app, try it out, tell me what you think. And if you've got any suggested improvements, I'd love to hear about them. You can either contact me directly or just go into the account area and send me some feedback. Thanks for listening.